It's that time of the year again, Academy time. And Roger Ebert and Martin Grove both attest that Wings of the Dove kicks off the season. From the passionate romance of Henry James comes a sizzling new movie of forbidden love, temptation, and seduction.
I think love is always an interesting subject. You can't, nobody could ever figure it out. So it's constantly worth investigating.
So it's a universal emotion, and it's compelling. And it's, you know, whenever it happens, you know that it's going to be a life-changing event.
You know, what's the difference between love and passion and lust and desire and friendship and the betrayal? All, I think, give us an insight into the people that we are.
Through the ages, people have been telling stories of passion, obsession, romance, and greed. Since the beginning of motion pictures, these have been prevalent themes, explored time and time again. Now, following in the grand tradition, Wings of the Dove is the next in a long line of timeless romantic classics.
It's a very contemporary love story. I mean, it's a sort of triangular love story. It's the sort of love story that could well happen now.
Wings of the Dove is the story of three young people who are trying to get what they want out of life and finding that the times that they live in and that the world that they live in and the expectations that people put on them, and even in one character's case, their physical condition is fighting against them getting what they want. We focused very prominently on the love triangle of Kate, Millie and Merton to make it less of a perhaps sort of stiff, formal world, but more of a passionate, sensual, exciting world.
Well, there's an obsessive love, and there's power, and there's greed. And I think that, you know, those certain qualities motivate people as much today as they did then.
You leave your aunt for him?
Yes.
With everything she can do for you?
I love him.
How long do you think you would last without money?
I don't know.
Of course you do. What about your mother and me? How long did we last?
I love him.
You think I didn't love her? Well, how long? How long did we last before all the money ran out?
The basis of the story, for me, the dynamic of it, it's about relationships. It's about kind of twisted intimacy. Just how selfish romantic love can be. In the beginning, there's a kind of innocence to it. Oh, it's all, you know, passion and two people want each other, but just how far are they prepared to go? In that respect, it's a psychological drama about the way people use each other and manipulate each other. And that's always fascinating to watch, and it's fascinating to play as well.
Do you hate me a little more for standing you up?
You didn't just stand me up. You set me up.
Did you like her?
No.
Did she like you?
Well, she asked me to come to Venice.
Why don't you?
Why should I?
Because I'll be there and Maud won't.
What about poor old Millie?
Why poor old Millie?
Well, she wants to be with you on her own.
Sure, she'd rather be with you on her own.
Look, I'm not going to Venice. You want to see me? You see me here.
Kate Croy is very much an anti-heroine, but she has a deliciously wicked side to her. She's complex, manipulative, vulnerable, innocent one minute, sexually knowing another.
If you ever get bored, you can invite anyone you want. Why should I get bored? If you do. Who would you like me to invite? Whoever you like. Shall I ask Merton? I already have. He said no. Do you want me to ask him? Only if you want to.
Only if you want to.
He's your friend. I hardly know him.
All right, then. We won't ask him.
My character, Millie, is more in love with life than anybody I've ever met. And she's really an inspiration. There's something about the way that she chooses to live, which is so exciting. She wants high drama, high love, high joy, and tragedy. I think she wants her life to be full of romance, and that includes tragedy.
Well, I was casting for all three roles all over the world, in Los Angeles, New York, and London. And Linus was obviously very high on the list. The part of Merton was a more difficult part to cast because he, in many ways, is an observer in the triangle, and there's a lot of internal activity, that there's an intensity about the way that he is relating to these two women and the changes that he's going through and the way that he's weighing up the options and making decisions to follow or to hold back. And that requires incredible subtlety and restraint.
What if I didn't let you leave tonight? What would happen?
I'd be penniless, cast out of society.
Helena, I was familiar with, but it was really when I met her and we discussed working together that I was aware that she had so many of the sides of the character of Kate. She had a sexuality, androgynous chameleon, like innocence, vulnerability, a toughness, all of which make Kate an intoxicating and fascinating character. Alison Elliott had just completed the Spitfire Grill, and I saw her as sort of hot from that.
Do you know who he is?
Yes. He's a friend of the family.
And the rest of the cast, of course, is very exciting. We have Michael Gambon playing Kate's father, Charlotte Rampling as Aunt Maud, Elizabeth McGovern as Susan. Alex Jennings is playing Lord Mark.
Over there in that corner, we have Lady Baring and her daughter. You see them?
Yes.
Now, what Lady Baring has to do is somehow maneuver her daughter from that side of the gathering to the other without falling in the fountain. You see the man in the red waistcoat?
Yes.
He's the target. Whack.
I'd like you to be my
Robin Hood couldn't have shot straighter.
Even though it's a story that does have some quite difficult truths within it, that it's not an over-sentimentalized view of life. It tells life with all its tragedy as well as all of its heights. And that really gave me the inspiration to approach the whole visualization of the film as something that was contemporary and visually interesting and had a sort of a dark intensity and a sense of intrigue about it.
I think Henry James is also very much about not showing feeling. His world is about people who are locked into a mode of living where they can't really express what they would like to express. Did you tell me about the secret trysts in Hyde Park? Tiny room in Soho? A dirty pub in Fleet Street?
That has nothing to do with you!
Yes, it does. I won't let you make the same mistake as your mother. If you see your friend ever again, I can't be responsible for you.
When you're looking at a film like Wings of the Dove, I think it's interesting also to look back at where it's coming from, the source material, because the author himself was in amongst some of the most influential storytellers of his time who have remained influential in this time. Out of that group, they all sort of agreed that plot was not really what they were interested in. What they wanted was character. And when you get into character, what are the things that happen to people in their lives that are worth exploring novel after novel? And certainly love, passionate love, the kind of love that leads to a meaningful relationship, whether it's marriage or out of wedlock, and I think spiritual journeys.
I believe in you.
Why?
I just do. Have a good feeling.
A good feeling.
Yes. I think everything's going to happen for you, Merton. Sooner than you think.
How do you know?
With certain people I know.
James had a tremendous insight, as did Freud at about the same time, insight into the power of human desire and its unassuageability, and the need for people to, at one and the same time, try to have things their own way and to resist the consequences of having things their way.
All you had to do was tell me.
Tell you what?
Please don't lie to me.
What do you want me to say?
I want to know if you love him.
Henry James, he was born in Washington Square in 1843, the second son of Henry James Sr., who was the son of an Irish immigrant who came to America in the late 18th century and without very much money, built up a fortune that grew to something like $3 million. Henry Sr. had very strong ideas about education and felt that American education at this time was not adequate. So he had the means to take his children to Europe and did it and went back and forth. So his children were taught by private tutors. And Henry, in early 1861, entered Harvard Law School, but lasted only 1 year, as many other young and aspiring novelists have done. After stepping out of Harvard Law School, he decided in the 60s that he wanted to become an author, and that was a decision which shaped the rest of his life. He never turned back.
Henry James was responding to very particular social, economic, and cultural pressures. His work often focuses on characters who belong to the upper class. I think asks some very universal and democratic questions about the quality of life, about the quality of relationships, about what it means to be an American. One of Henry James's close friends and contemporaries has a character in one of his own novels say that money is the poetry of this age. And I think that Americans were fascinated, hypnotized by the idea not just of money, but of the possibility of big money. That, I think, caused Henry James to see our society as becoming increasingly morally bankrupt.
He had left the United States in 1883 for good. First, he thought he was going to live in Paris. That didn't quite work out. Then he moved over to England, and he lived in London for a while. But then eventually, he was able to buy that little house in Rye, England, which is in the southwest. It is a very pleasant, relatively small house, about a block and a half from the village church. When England entered the war in 1914, that was tremendous emotional shock to James. And the year before he died, he dropped his American citizenship and took out British citizenship. And he dies there in 1916.
Henry James' work is viewed as being more popular today than during his lifetime. His characters and settings transcend time and place.
His characters and their quest for love and freedom, I think, speak to questions and issues which all Americans confront.
James is interested in how people need to possess one another, need to use one another, need to be used and be possessed, all in the name of love.
I can see why there are James fans, and his themes are very interesting, and his women are very interesting, and his men.
Would you rather be dancing with her?
With Kate? I'm perfectly happy dancing with you.
You're a beautiful liar.
You find characters, male and female, who seem to be very much of today in terms of their thinking.
You know, it's an illusion that perhaps we think, oh, it's a bygone era, and obviously a lot has changed since then, but essential human nature hasn't. Because, you know, we don't change, not when it comes to how we use each other or love each other and manipulate each other.
It seems fairly timeless, the relationships and the questions of intimacy and friendship.
My theory is you can't really live, can't truly live until you trust someone with your secret.
It's a good theory.
What I wanted to do was to say that there are a lot of things that are common through all periods, and to allow us to get into the world of the film and to see it from the point of view of the characters, not through the distance of history.
Then tell Miss Croy I'm not leaving until she comes down and sees me.
I've already told her.
Then tell her again, and again, and again, because I'm not leaving until I talk to her.
She doesn't want to see you.
It would be nice to think that the social pressures now are different. But I think if you get right down to it, they're probably not that different.
But it's one of the things that's particularly good about James and movies is that there are nuances, there are resonances and unspoken things that movies are good at conveying.
And the story of Wings of the Dove is very much about the choice between being ruled by your head or your heart. And of course, as with all things, it's neither one nor the other, but a mixture of the two.